Biogen is a global biotech company. We have operations in about 26 countries, very similar to what you've already heard. Training and communications, obviously, key way to get the message out, to get awareness, which is very, very critical to any corporate ethics and compliance program. We also obviously maintain and monitor all the different processes in the company related to anything from Sarbanes-Oxley all the way through R&D. So it's a very, very broad remit at Biogen. We're set up where I have 4 senior directors who are responsible for various regions of the world. We are responsible for all policy development. We actually take things from departments through a process where it might go to the U.S. Steering Committee or the International Steering Committee or the Corporate Compliance Committee, which I chair, which is made up of all senior executives in the company. So although we aren't responsible for developing every single policy, we do have a global template and we have a governance document so that all those things can be more uniform. But we wanted to give employees a tool that they could look at quickly and say, should I do this or shouldn't I do this? And how do I analyze this relatively quickly? And we also have cards of this. And a lot of our ABM, our sales and marketing people, actually carry the cards in their briefcase. And so when they're out and if they're interfacing with a doctor and something particularly thorny or they have a question about, they refer to this. And it's pretty simple. I mean, you start with, is it legal? Well, obviously, if it's not, you really don't need to have another conversation unless it is legal, and then you think, what are the ethics behind that? Should we do it? And then, if you have questions, you check it out. Maybe you talk to your manager. Maybe you call our helpline. Our helpline is not exclusive just for reporting concerns. You can get guidance as well as reporting a concern. And that actually has turned out to be very, very useful. For me personally, I spend a lot of time interacting with employees. And I have an open door policy. My assistant knows to make time for anybody that needs to talk to me. And periodically, I'll just stop people in the hall and say, how are things going? What do you think about the ethics, the culture of the company? And it's amazing what you learn just from talking to people. And over the 2.5 years of doing that, including traveling internationally and getting to know many of our people around the world, they feel more personally connected. And so a lot of times people will just call me up and they'll say, hey, Rosland, this is happening, what should I do? And depending on what it is, we might have a really, really lengthy conversation that leads to something broader or not. It might be something, not a big deal. But the awareness and the communication and getting people to feel comfortable is really critical, I think, to ethical decision making.